Good morning. Welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Monday, February the 10th. We're here to look at new releases that have been published this week. We look at them every day of this week, a different genre every day. Today we are, as usual, starting with Cozy Mysteries. Hope you had a good weekend. I did a lot of crocheting, which was good. Good morning, Mary. Happy Monday. Overcast and fairly warm this morning. Oh, good, but expecting a lot of snow. Oh, no. Tomorrow, Wednesday, my gas line project could be postponed due to snow. Oh, shoot. Good morning, Kim. How you doing? How's that cold you were thinking you were getting? Did you run away in the other direction successfully, or did it get you? That is also no fun. Well, we still have winter here. It is going to be about 4 degrees pretty much all day long. Tomorrow morning is going to be about -16, so we will enjoy today. All right, quick announcements. I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't do them on Monday night. I will have them tomorrow night, though, at 8 p.m. Eastern. They go for 2.5 hours. I do them every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. Still stuffy. Ooh. Good afternoon, Helen. First up, By the Book by Gregory Ash. Book 7 in the Last Picks series. Dashiell Dawson Dane might have a problem. It's not a huge problem. In fact, all things considered, life is good. He's got a wonderful boyfriend, fantastic friends, and a home where he's genuinely happy. Maybe for the first time ever. He's even writing regularly. Okay, mostly regularly. There is, however, the teensiest issue with money in that he doesn't have any. And it turns out Dash isn't the only one strapped for cash. The Hastings Rock Public Library has recently been defunded by the mayor and the city council, and the town is in an uproar. To keep the library open, Dash hosts a charity auction at Hemlock House, but disaster strikes when an exceptionally valuable book is stolen before the fundraiser can begin. And when Dash finds the mayor dead and Hastings Rock's head librarian refuses to provide an alibi, he quickly becomes tangled in yet another murder investigation. How could things get any worse? Oh, right, a surprise visit from his parents. Have them help you solve a murder. It'll be fun. Kim says 50s and 60s this week and next. Enjoy it. Murmurs on the Mist. 5th in the Cherry Blossom Bay Mystery Series by H.C. Cardona. Piper Hart is ready to settle into her quiet new life in Cherry Blossom Bay until she stumbles upon a mysterious ring linked to a decades-old unsolved heist. When whispers of secrets long buried begin to swirl, Piper finds herself drawn into a web of danger, deception, and small-town rivalries. As she dives deeper into the mystery, Piper uncovers connections to a tragic death on the infamous Cherry Blossom Bluffs, reigniting suspicions and unearthing clues that some would rather stay hidden. With the help of a charming yet infuriating detective and her own growing courage, Piper must navigate the town's quirky characters and shadowy secrets to piece together the truth. Neverboard Part 2, a daily mystery serial. I inherited the business from my Grams and had no experience running a boarding house when I stepped in. There's no question I've had my hands full. Fractious boarders, broken appliances, leaky roofs, and a very distracting next-door neighbor who makes my engine rev. Oops, did I say that last part out loud? The best thing I can do for myself is to stay away from Jack Walters. He has a tendency to cloud my thoughts and turn me into a babbling idiot. Forget I mentioned him. I mean, the real problem is the dead body my plucky little blonde dachshund Iris found in the flower beds. No amount of training would have prepared me for that. Also, did I mention that the sexy next door neighbor used to be a cop before starting his own security company? Yeah, under the circumstances, staying away from him is going to be a challenge. In fact, it might be nigh on impossible. Oh, darn. It says, I don't like it. Ready for spring and summer weather. Elizabeth Span Craig has a new one, 12th in the Village Library Mysteries. This is called Shelf Life. Anne finds her quiet existence disrupting when the town's newspaper editor and publisher, Grayson, reveals a chilling discovery. Dawson Blake, a retired journalist whose bylines once graced the front pages, has met an untimely end under mysterious circumstances. Known for his tenacious reporting, Dawson had helped Grayson find his footing in Whitby years ago. Now it seems he was onto a story that someone wanted shelved permanently. Anne and Grayson must read between the lines to prevent another chapter of tragedy from being written. Can they close the books on this case before the due date for justice expires, or will the truth remain checked out indefinitely? I know they're trying to go for library puns there, but there is no expiration date on murder. End of row 1. Candle with Care by Verona Jones. Martha Whitten is the author, is the illustrator. Interesting. Amateur sleuth and candle maker Tabby Winslow and her twin sister Sage are finally making a go of the book and candle shop. It seems like the only heat they'll feel this June is from the strong sunshine in Savannah, Georgia. Then their acquaintance, Detective Sharmila Belfour, is gravely injured in a vehicular assault and is in a coma. Cops turn the city upside down, searching for the offender, keying in on the detective's boyfriend Herbert R. Ellis, her felon cousin, and her case files. Fearing the police are looking at the wrong people, Herbert begs Tabby to investigate. He knows what most don't, that Tabby has psychic abilities that allow her to home in on emotions and motives. Since he's a lifelong friend of Dr. Quigsley, Tabby's fiance, she agrees. But before she finds answers, Sage's former co-worker is murdered, and her twin pleads with Tabby to find the killer. With dead ends at every turn, Tabby fears the city's troubles are paranormal in origin. By investigating the crime, she risks exposure of the way her family manipulates energy and uses psychic talents and other psychic talents. Keeping a low profile is essential. Meanwhile, Quig's parents are throwing them a black tie engagement party in 2 weeks, and Tabby is burning the candle at both ends. Can Tabby end the crime wave and protect her loved ones before she is quenched? Smoked by Scotch by Lucy Lakestone, 8th in the Bohemia Bartender Mysteries. Mary asks if things calm down with the service manager. Hope so. Yeah, we are all just, yes, kind of pretending it didn't happen. Mixologist Pepper Reveley is excited about the latest Bohemia Bartenders gig, but she's even more thrilled about where it is, Scotland. She and fellow bartender Neil are finally a thing. They and their friends and frenemies are traveling in style and making cocktails for an iconoclastic Scotch distiller's big launch. And making cocktails for an iconoclastic Scotch distiller's big launch is the glitzy garnish. Bonus, she gets to work with the sizzling hot Scottish celebrity and TV star who's the frontman for the brand, at least until a shocking incident puts her on alert that there's trouble under all that plaid. Could their adorable spokesman stalkers have leveled up to violence? The team's job gets thornier than a thistle when they realize the bartender's clients have a lot more enemies than they've let on. From the enchanting streets of Edinburgh to the mystical vistas of the Orkney Islands, Pepper finds so many suspects she's starting to wish a stone circle would whisk her back to Bohemia. As tensions mount, who will get killed next? Can Pepper and her friends figure out the mystery before they are burned like a chunk of Scottish peat? They were pushing it. Creditor in the Lanes. 13th in the Viking Witch Cozy Mysteries by Kate Martin. Ingrid Torfodottir moved to the north shore of Lake Superior, intending to live with her grandmother while pursuing a career as a book illustrator. Instead, she discovered her true calling as a Volva, a Viking witch, serving a village founded in the Viking Age by Norse settlers escaping some terrible enemy whose identity was lost to time. Now she lives in the hidden town of Vilmark full-time. Her boyfriend Thorbjorn and her best friend Loki remain in the wilds far to the north of Vilmark, their fates a mystery to those they left behind, like Ingrid. And like Esja, Loki's sister, Ingrid awaits the next evolution of Esja's destiny, so intertwined with her own. What happens next will test them both. But then the unexpected occurs. Something preys on the women of Vilmark, killing them in the very streets of town, and Ingrid and Esja both swear to catch the predator before it strikes again. The Golden Hour Murder by Jean Quigley, a Robin Cavanaugh mystery. It's October, and Mother Nature has painted photographer Robin Cavanaugh's suburban New York hometown in rich colors of red, orange, and gold. Autumn has provided many scenic locales to shoot, but Robin is happily preoccupied with one particular landscape. She's landed the biggest job of her flourishing career, a contract to photograph the lush Linden Acres farm. Her work begins with sunshine-filled days of apple and pumpkin picking and starry nights featuring a spectacular display of glowing jack-o'-lanterns. The merry mood darkens after Robin discovers the body of Doug Paxton, the estranged husband of a member of the Linden clan. Robin can't look through her camera's viewfinder without picturing Doug's body in the Linden pumpkin patch. Along with her friend Will Vonderland, she plays detective to solve Doug's murder. Will the killer be caught before the apples and pumpkins are turned into Thanksgiving pies, or will Robin lose her best client and watch her career fade along with the autumn colors? End of row 2. I don't know, does it feel weird to be reading something about autumn when we're in February? I mean, sometimes you can read like Christmas all year round, but I don't know. Sometimes the vibes don't match. Be sure to hit the like button. Yes, thank you very, very much. Yes, it is wonky. Okay, good. Not just me. I mean, right now, we should be focusing on Mardi Gras, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, and Easter, if you're looking for seasonal things. Just me. Goats Just Want to Have Fun by Jana Rollins, second in the Zen Goat Mysteries. It's late summer and time for the Lupine County Fair. Callie has agreed to teach daily goat yoga sessions for the duration of the fair, and she's excited her cousin Tristan is coming from Boston to help her out. She's looking forward to experiencing every moment of her first rural county fair has to offer, including eating her weight in greasy corn dogs and curly fries, then taking in the excitement of the carnival at night. Maybe she'll bump into that handsome, albeit frustrating veterinarian, Levi McClure. But things get wild fast when the proprietor of Hasty Hogs Racing Pigs is murdered on the track in front of a crowd of spectators. When the local snow cone stand owner, Sweet Pete, is found with evidence pointing to him as the killer, Callie is sure it's a setup. It's going to take a calm mind and a zenful spirit to find the real killer before she ends up hog-tied. Death at the Ship-Shaped Bookshop by Greta McKenna. Say that fast. Janetta Beale is living in paradise. As owner of the Ship-Shaped Bookshop in Southeast Alaska, she sells books in town, operating a lending library for the locals, and serves the villages in her floating bookmobile. She loves her peaceful coastal life. That peace is shattered when she returns from her latest voyage through the Inside Passage. Someone has trashed her bookshop, stolen the town's historic treasure map from the wall, and left a dead body in her back room. Somehow, a charming newcomer's tale of his family history is bound up with the present mystery. When the troopers arrest Uncle Vance for the crime, Janetta knows the cantankerous old sourdough is no murderer. She must dig up the truth to prove her uncle's innocence before a killer takes her out of circulation. We have just got a huge variety of books today. It's a nice way of saying they're all over the place. Is that a thing, goat yoga? Who knew? I sure didn't. Yeah, it is a thing. Yep, Kim's, yeah, it is a thing. I've heard about it. Mary, goat yoga, not great yoga. I've noticed that words are changing after dash. Happens just about every time. Anyone have that problem? Elena, the Eagles won the Super Bowl yesterday. Yay! Were you happy for that? It sounds like you were. You were cheering for them. Mary says, "Hi, Elena. I saw another author this weekend. Did you?" And Elena says, "Hello. Did you have a good weekend, Elena?" Mine was okay. I did a lot of crocheting. I'm working on a wedding bedspread. I have a month, technically. Odd Job Annie by Beth Reiner. Annie Cooper's not your average retiree. After moving to a quirky mountain town, she creates a side hustle, Odd Job Annie, to offset her insurance costs. When one of her first and favorite clients, a feisty octogenarian, is brutally attacked and left for dead, it's up to Annie and Dickie, her delightfully debonair new neighbor, to figure out who done it in this charming, laugh-out-loud, cozy mystery. Short and sweet. 216 pages. Only Murders in the Abbey by Beth Cohen Erskine, part of Lockdown Abbey Mysteries. This is the second book, apparently. Mrs. McBain, thank God it's you. Without another word, he grabbed her arm and pulled her into the room, locking the door behind them. Mrs. McBain turned around, clearly offended at being manhandled, then gasped, "Is that blood?" Lockdown Abbey is full of guests for a Highland ball, including several uninvited members of the Inverkillen clan, the Abbey's former residents. Housekeeper Mrs. McBain thinks her biggest challenge will be finding suitable rooms for everyone and keeping the peace at cocktail hour. Until the morning after the ball, when one of the guests is discovered inside the Abbey's library as dead as a doornail. Who would have had motive to want them dead? And how did they manage to commit their crime and escape while keeping the door locked from the inside? With an abbey full of suspects and secrets, it's down to Mrs. McBain to catch the killer before they strike again. Looks like this is set in 1930s Scotland, according to some of the blurbage there. And number 3. Morning, Stormy. Elena says, yes, she did. Storm. Kim, I was torn. Family in Kansas City and Jalen Hurts. And Stormy saying hi back. Kim says hi, Stormy. Steve watched it. I didn't. The game. I was hearing some things. I didn't have a horse in the game. So I mostly watched some YouTube. Got caught up. Not caught up, but watched some a booktuber and a reactor, and it was a nice evening. We had taco salad. In the Dead of Winter, The Spirit Lake Mysteries, book number 2 by Rhonda Blackhurst. I did read the first one of these. I'm hoping it was just maybe first book itis, but I like that cover a lot. Welcome to Spirit Lake in the dead of a Minnesota winter, where the brutally cold temp isn't the only thing to fear. Andy Rose Kazmarek, a 6-year sober life coach and owner of the haunted Spirit Lake Inn, has learned the hard way that the living are far more dangerous than anything in the spirit world. When a controversial guest fails to return to her room on the same night a body is discovered in a fish house on Big Spirit Lake, Andy Rose teams up with her sponsor and sidekick, Sister Alice, and her emotional support Red Retriever Aspen to solve the case. After Andy Rose discovers illegal activity on the inn's property that ties to the murder, the investigation shifts into high gear as she uncovers shocking secrets of those she thought she knew. Someone is intent on keeping her quiet at any cost. Can the inn's resident ghost save her from impending harm when it seems the one closest to her pose the greatest threat? If I remember right, I think I probably gave it a 3. If I remember right, the main character made some silly decisions, and I hate that. And dithered, and I hate that. But mileage may vary. That's just one of my pet peeves. Crime and Catastrophes by Deanna Drake, 4th in a perfect relic cozy mystery. As a late summer heat wave scorches the sleepy town of Citrus Grove, the suspicious death of a notoriously unpopular professor puts Rebecca and her talking cat, Anexi, hot on the trail of another cursed artifact and a killer. Police Detective Nick Devon, her dashing new flame, is following the rulebook in his investigation, but the Cuthbert Exotic Antiques manager is trusting her instincts as she follows the clues. With her grandfather distracted by an unexpected visitor who may not be what he seems, and Anexi rekindling a bond with a long-lost sibling, Rebecca knows she's on her own to search for the ancient scepter that may hold the key to the dead professor's medical miracle and the reason behind his demise. And then blurbage. All right. That is all we have time for today. Everybody remember where we parked, because we will be coming back to those later in the week. Tomorrow we'll be looking at crime fiction and thrillers. And yeah, Stormy said hi to Kim, and I don't like talking animals. Me either. But there's somebody's cup of tea. And Elena, thanks. You betcha. Well, hope you guys have a good Monday. Be safe. Read good books. Elena says, see you tomorrow. I'm off from work tomorrow. Oh, how nice. Oh, enjoy. I wish I did. So you enjoy for me. Kim says, fixing to nap before Bible study. That also sounds lovely. Mary, thank you. Hope everyone has a good day. Stay warm and safe. Absolutely. Yes, so we got a foot of snow last week and cold temps today. So slow and steady and lots of layers is what we do up here. Again, I don't have any sprints tonight. I don't know whose channel it is on tonight. Maybe Sarah's, maybe Stormy's. Stormy, maybe you can let us know here in the comments. My next sprints are tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. So in the meantime, you guys are in my heart. Thank you so much for being here. And as the banner says, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Nom nom nom. Have a good day and God bless.